Some people are trying to create systems that embody their own artistic practice, like Johannes Helden, like making a project that writes like him, and replaces him as a writer. Harold Cohen developed a generative artist, a system. He referred to it as an artist, but you can think of it as a generative artwork.
Yeah.
Aaron. And so Aaron produced drawings. And Cohen kept refining it again and again throughout his life. And eventually he said, its use of color is better than mine. It's actually better at this aspect of art. And, we're now in a situation where Cohen has died, several years ago. But Aaron still exists.
What?
Right? And is still able to produce artwork, right? And
this is so surreal.
So we have situations like this that already exist. Now Cohen wasn't trying to create a system that embodies himself and his own artistic practice. But there are people who do that. Some people are trying to create systems that embody their own artistic practice, like Johannes Helden, like making a project that writes like him. And replaces him as a writer. Okay. So there's a...
that's the most powerful
vanity
function of all.
Economics,
right?
Or
legacy.
What do you think the purpose of that is?
I mean, it's sort of like as a computational artist. So, there's always the suggestion that they give to writers. They say, write about something you know, right? So if you're a computational artist and you're trying to make a writer, program about something you know. Why not make yourself? Why? I mean, that's the writer you know best, right?
Yeah.
So,
but it performs some useful functions, right? Like it's incredible for redundancy, for death in service and stuff that you can live on.
So I think it depends on whether having an immortal artist, right? Of course, immortal artists just become they're just obsolete for eternity, right? Because you need to be embodied in the present day culture. You need to have relevance to what's going on. You need to be part of what's happening.
It's an incredible question for technology and culture.
So,
if you think about
it, we've
let's
already gotten from the screensaver to uploading your artistic practice and your consciousness to the computer, right? Just in probably about 5 or 10 minutes.
I was going to say, yeah, exactly. And now we're talking about the future of mankind. No, what I'm saying is, imagine, Jax, that all of a sudden technology got so good that you could, take the embodiment of your art, right? And I'm not sure if you're even, imagine this, that you're not even caught in a time warp, that actually your algorithm is growing as a result of your own artistic design. It's the way you think about lyrics, the way you think about themes, the way you think about what's going on. And all of a sudden, 50 years later, your kids, are talking to their kids about your music. You've sadly gone to heaven, I hope. And they're listening to your music. But that music is constantly being generated. That has all kinds of cultural and historical questions.
Yeah, I think...
And actually, I argue that that's fairly visionary, that there's something very interesting about that.
I think it's interesting the first time it's done. But the issue of creating generative art that's imitative of human art, right? That's a whole category of artistic development in and of itself.
Right.
And my interest in generative art is that it's able to do something very alien and uncanny. It's able to do something unusual. It's able to help us inhabit or perceive, at least, some type of alien consciousness. But my work is not supposed to be human-like at all, the stuff that I do personally, and the stuff that I'm interested in viewing, reading, hacking on, looking at the code of, that work is also not producing human-like art. It's producing something that people can still understand in some way.
Right.
It resonates with culture in some way. but it's very bizarre in other ways.